Number one principle of living a debt-free life, it is to practice dissimulation. Rich people pretend to be poor, while poor people pretend to be rich. They made a car in India called Nano by Tata Corporation. They said it's the car for the masses, for the poor. It didn't sell because poor people do not want to be identified as buying a car for poor people. They built a bridge in South America. I think the name of the place is Caracao or so. And they said that to recover the cost of building the bridge, rich people will pay for it. Rich people usually wore shoes in those days, while poor people walked barefooted. What happened was that the rich will walk near the bridge and pull their shoes, put inside their bags, and walk across barefooted, while the poor went to buy shoes to be crossing the bridge to impress their fellow poor people that they are rich. And so the poor ended up paying more for the bridge. If you watch legitimately rich people, they live very simple lives. They can afford some luxuries, but they are usually very minimalistic in their approach. When I see Mark Zuckerberg with honorary t-shirt, unless he's going to appear before the Senate or one thing, then he wears a suit. When I see Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, when I see Obi Ekwesili, I see a lot. Sometimes I see Obasanjo with honorary Accra. You see the poor man will be struggling to impress people. The rich live simple lives. Jimmy Carter lived a very simple life. So live a very simple life. Dissimulation is the attitude of the rich, while simulation is the attitude of the poor. They want to impress people. The next thing is that you should make sure that you live in accommodations that you can afford. Accommodations that you can afford. Don't go and rent accommodations that are very expensive and you are a tenant. It is better to pay for an affordable accommodation that is conducive, safe, and then save money to eventually build your own house using the principle of the philosophy of the ant and the principle of gradualism. Send your children to schools that are good enough and are affordable. Always tie the load you can carry on your head. So when you practice these principles, send your children to schools you can afford, stay in accommodations that are comfortable, safe, and affordable, then practice dissimulation. Don't try to impress people. You will discover that you are hardly owing and you are living within your means. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles APOKI.